Welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast, the photo imaging industry's leading news source. Here's your host, Gary Pageau. The Dead Pixel Society podcast is brought to you by Media Clip, Advertech Printing, and Independent Photo Imagers.
Hello again and welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. I'm your host, Gary Pageau, and today we're talking to Bill Testa, the founder of Frints. Try to say that 10 times fast. And Bill's coming to us from Rochester, New York. Hey, Bill, how are you today?
Hi, Gary. How are you doing?
Good, good. So you are in the heartland of imaging, at least imaging history there. What is your history? Before you got into Frints, you had actually had a long career in direct mail and other things. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So in the mid 80s, when I got out of college, I came to Rochester from SUNY Oswego.
Mm-hmm.
And I studied printing and graphic design. Obviously, 1984, when the first Mac computer came out, I learned all on the Mac. And then I graduated and I decided to open up a print shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I started in the printing industry in 1987, and offset did. There was no digital at the time till
Right.
and CLC 100 came, but I did things differently. I was printing 4-color process on a 1-color press back in 1987, and from there we continued to grow the printing industry, and that's what I did for close to 30 years. And then about 7-8 years ago, I was getting bored with the printing industry, and I coach at a high level, and I said, let's see what we can do in this next phase of life. And I was able to partner up with one of the top patent gentlemen from Kodak, Eastman Kodak, Pageau, and we put together this platform that we're going to talk about today. In the photo world, what the future was and how we can incorporate the future where that's going and in the printing industry and encompass, close to 5, 6, 7 different verticals all into one.
Okay.
And that's what we did.
So this has been coming for a while. I mean, like you said, 7 or 8 years. What took so long, I guess, is from a technology platform. Was the technology there, not there, or what was the holdup?
So the first thing was to secure the patents. So that was the first year and a half, getting all that done. And then once that was all done, before we even started even thinking about how to build it out, I wanted to do customer discovery. So I did another 18 months, going around to companies. If I build this, what do you think? And they're like, well, I don't think you can, right? Everybody's, I don't think you can do this. And I'm like, well, okay, but if I can. So right around 2018, 19 is when I said, okay, let's start figuring this out. So it's a 6 Sigma process, backwards to forwards. The first thing I did was to secure the way I'm going to print scalable worldwide patent. Since being in the printing industry, that was easy for me. So I was able to build the way the digital presses run, the way I can maximize the sheet with the perforating unit and build out that process so it's flawless. And now I partnered with Kodak, Canon, and Fuji a service level agreement, so we can actually give them what we tell them how to print it. Customers up on a sheet with the perforation, so it's the same that someone gets on the East Coast, West Coast, or wherever they get it, right? So that's all done. So now, when that's done, we got to figure out how we're going to build it, right? From the technology standpoint. So that takes money. And, one of the main things that I really wanted to do was build this my way.
Sure.
And most people in this phase would go to venture capitalists, private equity, give up 10, 20, 30% equity of their company and get a big check up front and then be owned by that venture capitalist or private equity person. So my attorney at the time, Monty Estes, I called him Harvard because he went to Harvard. That was his nickname. But he created Uvani, Upstate Venture Capitalists. And one of the main things he said is since you're going to do it this way, don't go through any venture capital. Build what you need as you build out. So as I started building the technology, I went and got 50,000 here, 100,000 here. everybody told me it was going to take close to $30 million to build this platform, because I feel now I have a platform equal to or better than Facebook, Instagram, you name it. I think we're the best. And then we'll get why I think we're the best. So I'm at 3.2 million all in. And this past October was our opening to the world to Ad Week, coming out to see, you saw me at Visual First, then back to New York City for ANA, the Association of National Advertisers. So we really came a long way. And we used the last 2 years. I think the pandemic was perfect for us. We were able to get some extra technology built, but we were able to do all of our beta tests, our short runs, our long runs, everything flawlessly. But, I was able to take the photo industry, the tech industry, the printing industry, obviously the data industry, and marketing and omni-channel, and bring it all into one platform that only benefits the consumers because they're getting high quality free pictures. But the brands, my main focus was helping every small business, every brand, how I can put them in touch with consumers. So that's where we're at today.
So for those who aren't familiar, can you kind of describe first, like the app experience? What is, from the consumer side, what's the offering for them when they download the app? Why would they even want to do this?
Well, that's a great question. So, so the first thing we all know, last year, 2.2 trillion people took photos. I think I might be close on that number, and about 40 billion printed, but they paid for the printing, right? Going to the Shutterflies, the Targets, CVS, Walgreens. Ours is 100% free. There's no charge. And it's a very high quality. I think we're the best quality, but we're very high quality.
So by free, and I'm doing air quotes, there's a lot of free apps out there, but where they monetize is shipping. So is there shipping involved?
No shipping. We don't even ask you for a credit card. Nothing.
Okay.
I coach soccer at high level, and I saw all these coaches charging families $5-6 grand to coach them. It's a soccer ball on grass. It's pictures. I want to give free pictures to everybody, because why? We all have thousands of pictures on our cell phones, and it's growing, right? So we're at 3.2 trillion. The numbers are supposed to be over 10 trillion in 2030. So that's the carrot, right? We give everybody free pictures. But what's associated with it?
Before you go with that, just talk a little bit about like number of quantity, how many pictures can people order?
Okay.
You know, that sort of thing. What, and then get into what they actually get, which is what I think is where you were going.
Yeah. So we give 20 free pictures every time they order off the app.
Okay.
And it looks, well, that's right. It looks like this. But we're not showing that. But anyway, they get 20 free photos, and they can continuously order as much as you want. I mean, we try to cap it at 200 a month, but we never get anybody over 200 a month. But it's there if they want it.
Right.
It's free, so there's no charge. So that's the number they get per packet.
Okay, and then so like you said, with the picture, there's some advertising there. There's some content there.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that, because I think that's sort of the secret sauce to your offering. Is it's not just a generic ad for Pampers or baby food or other things like people have done with these sort of advertising driven print offerings.
Right. So if you're a customer of an organization, one of our business models is we go out and find the businesses that have the chicken and the eggs, right? A bunch of consumers, and they have a bunch of brands and advertisers that they try to connect with each other.
Right.
Frints comes in as the engine, right? So I'll just use, let's say AAA. If AAA becomes a member, AAA will say, hey, we want to give all of our membership free photos, compliments of AAA. But in there is going to be all the brands that pay to be in front of those consumers.
Right.
AAA's hoping they come to their website to buy something from Enterprise Rent-A-Car or whatever they offer.
Right.
So now we drive the traffic for them, but then we give a rev share back to the what we call a packet sponsor. The members enjoy it because they get free pictures. And then obviously the advertisers love it because they're getting 100% open rate and 100% viewing rate of every one of their messages, because it's like a 10-second billboard of your brand message in front of those consumers. And eventually, as our database grows into the millions, that packet sponsor model will still be there, but now those consumers that were on AAA or Chewy or whoever are relationships are going to be able to order because of our technology. And the technology is, if you're drinking coffee in your picture, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or the local coffee house in your geofenced zip code will come next to you. If you're playing golf, soccer, whatever, Dick's Sporting Goods. So we'll bring brand consumer in that geo area at 100%.
So I just want to reinforce that. So you're using some technology, which that's what you have the patent for, to look at the image and gear local advertising to the content of the picture.
Yes. Not only to the local advertising, but to the household and the person in the house. And
does your app capture any kind of geographical data other than the actual images in the picture? I mean, for example, are you asking people to put their age, household size, anything like that, or you just don't need it?
Don't need it. You just put in the information where I got to mail it, right? I got to mail it to someone's house, but that's
and that is some information there, because you get some idea of household demographics of, whether they own or rent or, that kind of thing. So there's a little bit there. Do you use that information?
A little bit, yeah. And we cross-reference, pictures worth 1,000 words. Everybody here knows that, but what we thought of is pictures worth 10,000 attributes. So as we collect the attributes from the photo, we can cluster them into the way each vertical buys. The car dealerships versus the insurance companies versus the realtors, they all have demographics. They all have points that they have their consumers. We know that. So now we can take those brands and push them into campaigns that are running, that we have set up. But eventually those campaigns and those attributes will also benefit the consumer, right? Because if you're driving a BMW probably an ad will go next to you, but Mercedes might say, I want to pull them away from BMW, and I want them to come to my Mercedes. Or if they're drinking coffee, Dunkin' Donuts is an ad, but Starbucks might say, hey, I'm going to give a better offer to have them come over and get a free coffee at Starbucks. So we can do that in the future.
When you're looking at, like you said, 100% impression, because obviously people have to interact physically with the ad to remove the picture, right? Because they don't. Right. So talk about the size, because we're an audio podcast, so people can't really see this. I'm gonna encourage them, obviously, go to Frints.com and check this out. But what is the size of the snapshot, and what is the size of the ad, and how big is the envelope that comes, and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the size of the picture is a 4x6 picture, and the ad associated with it is 6x8.
Is there anything on the back of the print?
No, so there's no ad on the back of the photo. It's completely a photo that they can put in a frame, or .edu, and college kids put on their walls, whatever. That's one of the main things, was to keep the photo clean of advertising.
Okay.
But now you have the actual message from the brand, compliments of the brand.
Because there have been some people who've tried that, but they back print it, and that's not as appealing for the consumers to have something shining through if they're putting it, near a window or something like that.
Yeah, so they can't do that. That's an infringement on our patent and intellectual properties. So there can't be any advertisement associated with a picture. They can't be allowed. Okay.
So then talk about the format of the ad itself. People can do a two-sided ad, right? Is it two advertisers or one? On both
it depends on the advertiser and what space he wants to buy. He can buy a one-sided ad or a two-sided ad. He can buy the envelope. He can buy the inside of the envelope. He can buy the 21st card. Everything's available for revenue.
Cool. So what are typically, now I understand the rates are probably very, very dynamic based on all these factors that could come in. I imagine, though, the per click, or I don't know, per handle, I don't know, per impression cost, I guess, is comparable or less than, let's say, TV or radio or something like that. Because that's really what you're competing against.
Well, we feel we're not competing against anybody, so I'm going to explain that. So right now it's 60 cents an ad. So I'll just use numbers per impression. So if an advertiser was going to buy 10,000 impressions in the Rochester market, it would be $6,000. Okay, so but they're guaranteed 10,000 people are going to see their ad.
Right.
In today's world of direct marketing, they would have to mail out 1 million postcards.
Right.
Equal what we give for 10,000. So that's $6,000 for 10,000 packets is equivalent to $500,000 for 1 million postcards.
Right.
It's not even apples with apples. So that's how we determine.
So you've already got some partnerships with some fairly large brands. You've
Yeah.
announced those, I think it was the Advertising Week or something that you mentioned those. Can you talk a little bit about how that process was engaging with them? Because obviously, some of these big brands you've talked about, and feel free to name drop a couple if you
Sure.
want,
Sure.
clearly are getting pitched all the time with the latest and greatest. Oh, we're doing this platform and we're doing this ad and we're doing this video and we're doing this and pre-roll this and post-roll that and insert this and insert that. So what was that conversation like when you're not even in the marketplace yet and you're talking to some of these folks?
Well, this is the amazing part of Frints platform. We have not had anybody say no yet.
Mm-hmm.
By coming off of Ad Week and Visual First and A&A, our phones have not stopped ringing because they all want to be part of it. But let's just use Phoenix Brands. Phoenix Brands has 200 plus locations around the country, millions of consumers around the country, and they have 6 or 7 brands underneath their platform. So this is a great tool for them to take those brands and communicate with their consumers.
Right.
I give a rev share back to them. So it's a win-win for them. Same with Sky Zone. We just got a call from the Big 12 conference, which the school, right? All the, Ohio State, Michigan State, but now I don't think it's the Big 12 anymore because they just added in like 10 more schools. So
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the Big 10, which is where we are in Michigan. So yeah, they've got about 16 schools now. So
yeah. So these are companies that are calling us daily, right? And we just got off the phone with Ad Critter, which is another platform that wants to use us, and many others that were signing up daily, right? So it's a win-win for the brand, but it's also a win-win for the package sponsor because of what we just discussed. And obviously it's a win-win for the consumers. And we won the national award for the post office last year.
Right.
So that was a big thing for us, for credibility and unanimous decision there. And it's amazing what we can do for them also. So
how finite can you drill this down in terms of, can you even, let's say, for example, let's talk about the Big 10 for a second. Let's say I'm in a Michigan jersey and I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Can you pair that on that same picture, the cup of coffee or a Michigan jersey on the other side? Can you actually do that?
Eventually that's where we're going to be. Right.
Okay.
So as we see a Michigan logo, it's only going to be Michigan brands that are going to that person in that area of the country versus your rival there down in the O and out west and things like that. So that's our technology. That's what we can do. Okay. And we're incorporating QR codes now. So we are driving for not only the 100% open rate, the advertisers are going to get an automated QR code where they can direct their message anywhere they want back to their website, or maybe it pops up and they have them download the advertiser's website. The advertiser's app. We're doing a lot of omni-channel things added to the Frints platform, which again, there's no competition for Frints, and it's 100. It's a win-win for everyone.
So there is some concern. Obviously, I heard some chatter at Visual First. Some people had not experienced Frints before, didn't know what it was, and there was some concern from the traditional trade who said, "I like this idea for that, but it's a concern to me that you're kind of devaluing the value of a snapshot by making it zero." What is your response to those folks from the traditional side? We're trying now to sell prints, right? They're trying to get people to go to Walgreens or CVS to buy prints. What is your thought about that?
That's a great question. Nobody's ever asked me that, but I'm just going to give you the Bill Testa answer on that. They didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Right. And I did. So what they should do is partner with me because they'll make more money off of a partnership as a package sponsor with Frints. But again, it's still, I'm here to deliver the message of the brand.
Sure.
Right? So it's a win. So I'm looking at it by being in the printing industry.
Right.
I want it to be the best quality, not only on the photo, but the ad is the same quality as the photo.
Right.
So for those people that are saying I'm devaluing it, I think I'm bringing a new wave back about photos. Yep. I think creating something for the ages 16 to 30 that, we want them printing, right? We want them printing.
Exactly. We want them engaged in printing, right?
I think this will engage them because they've never seen print. The old shoebox photos and things like that. Talking with various partners and photo mine and them. I mean, this is a win-win for that age group.
Yeah.
So we're actually bringing their pictures that are stuck on their phone, and they're going to go to Starbucks. They're going to go to Target. They're going to go to Dick's Sporting Goods, and so that's how I answer that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a great answer. And obviously if someone were, for example, to be competing who want to sell prints, right? They want to reach that market, you take their advertising as well. Let's say, for example, an online photo book company, you could partner with them and, hey, if you got someone now who's photo active, who sees a print, now they want to make a book. You don't make books as of yet, if you ever will. But certainly it's a partnership opportunity. Also, camera makers also could partner with you.
So we're looking always to partner with somebody that I want to help them, but if it's something that we can offer these millions of consumers, I mean, we're going to have tens of, hundreds of millions of consumers, and if I can help grow their vertical and help them sell more cameras and sell more prints, I want to do that for them.
So going forward, I mean, it's relatively new. It's been gestating for a long time, but it's relatively new. You've had a lot of good response. We're in the holiday season right now. What are you seeing going through your platform now in terms of adoption? Because you're really, kind of I don't know what kind of money you're spending on getting people to download the app, but I imagine you got to spend some bucks.
Zero. That's why I built it. I did go research all those marketing companies and, anywhere from $3.50 to $8 cost per customer acquisition to download my app. That's my business model, why I went and partnered with companies that have the chicken and the eggs. Because if once they download, that's my numbers, that's my volume of consumers that grow. Right. And that's how I eliminate the download costs.
So you're not really campaigning to get people to download the app. So how are you creating consumer awareness with these Gen Z people and all that?
So currently we have over 40 packet sponsors signed to their millions of consumers. So they're telling them to download our app.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's how it works. So as now it's just spreading virally. So now it's spreading through the packet sponsors. So we're going to have close to over 100 packet sponsors going by end of first quarter, which translates to tens of millions of consumers. A win-win for everybody.
Okay. So are you sharing your adoption rate as of yet in terms of downloads for the app? Are you sharing that yet?
We will be sharing that soon after the first of the year. But and then I'll share that with you also so you can post that.
Sure.
But so we always tell the packet sponsor, and I have a whole formulas that we have that 3.5 adoption rate, 3.5%. If you get up higher than that, well, we're a lot higher than that. And what happens is once they find out it's free, like the freemium is like, all right, well, it's really free. But once they get the packet in the mail and they see quality, and they didn't have to do a credit card, and they didn't have to do any personal things on a website, they just continue to order. They love it. They just don't shut down.
I was going to say, because you've reduced a lot of the friction points, obviously, right? I mean, because you're not requiring the credit card, you're not requiring. So literally, you can just download, take pictures, and order.
Yes, and what's nice about for the advertising side is if an advertiser wanted to keep sending out a postcard, they would have to do new creative, new printing, right? For us, we allow the advertiser to log in and change their message as much as they want for free. So they can tell a story to the consumers. They can change their marketing daily, every week, whatever, at no extra charge. So now it's a win-win for them too.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that from the advertiser's end of it, right? So they become a sponsor of Frints. They get a login and a portal of some sort where they get the dimensions of and the specs of the ad that's going to be printed. Let's assume that, we'll just say with one side, but you can say they can do both, right? They can really get granular in terms of the offering. For example, and like you said, they can change it as much as they want. So, for example, if somebody reorders, do they know even that person reordered? So to show them a new message?
Oh yeah, the advertiser will know that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm coming up from the advertiser side.
Back to the advertiser, So for instance, our dashboard's almost done that. It's almost like an ad tech platform. They're going to be able to type in whatever their demographics are, whatever that is, and it's going to come up. Oh, you can be in the Sky Zone packet. You can be in the Phoenix Brands packet. You can be in the Big Ten packet, and we have X amount of consumers based on what you typed in of your demographics. Those ads will go to them, right? So that's eventually where this is going to be. But if you're part of the Phoenix Brands packet, you have a communication going back and forth because you're a member of Phoenix Brands.
Mm-hmm.
Frints had to do that outside of this. It would go to spam. So that's why I partnered with all these partnerships because right? So now they say, hey, Gary, thanks for being part of Phoenix Brands. Download the Frints app and put in Phoenix, and you get all the free pictures you want, compliments of our platform.
Cool. And so like, you've only been out a couple months, but you said you're seeing a significant amount of reorders.
Well, everybody that orders reorders constantly. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, it is.
So obviously from the photo world, the 4x6 is sort of some people would say it's a dead product. Some would say it's a mature product. Some people would say it's a very static product. You've got a big sheet of paper there. Are you looking at other sizes, maybe a 5x7 with a smaller ad or something like that?
Yeah. So eventually, we get a lot of that. Hey, I love your platform. I love your photos, the quality. Can I get bigger? So we know there's phases we got to do down the road. I really don't want to get into offering everything because we have friends of ours on this platform that we're talking about. That's their work. That's their world. Yeah. So I want to help them. Right. So I can say, hey, you want a 5x7? Go to our partner X. Go to our partner for a mug here. Go to our partner here for a book. Right. I want to be able to drive traffic to them also.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do there. We have some new things also coming out. I'll leak in, like if you have a picture in the future, not too far away, that picture can come live on someone's phone as a video.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. Because there's some technology out there, the Flam technology and people like that can do that. Yep.
Right, now, exactly. So,
we're not now. Will that be built into the Frints app? So you have to go back to
all built into the app. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Because I think that's a very much a growing area where this sort of hybrid, print, video, internet thing will grow.
Yeah, and it's all about trying to get in front of that target market that nobody can get in front, right? So we want to do that. Anything that we can keep it high quality, easy, keep it simple, and make it, when I want to say affordable, free is affordable, but I just want to make sure that everybody wins in the process. If there's anybody out there that thinks their platform can go good with Frints, I'd love to talk to them because you never know that I will help. I want to help them grow too. So whatever I can do.
Now, you don't do any printing yourself as a thing. You have partners, right?
Exactly.
So is that open for business? Do you want people to talk to you, and how would they reach you?
Well, first of all, they can go to Frints or Bill at Frints, and we can give my information, as much my phone number, whatever they'd like there. But I would love if they can handle the quality.
Right. Do they have to be on a specific press, or is it just a schematic?
No, I mean, the Fuji platform and the Kodak platform and the Canon platform are great platforms.
So it's a roll feed type platform.
Yeah. High-end digital, high-end, API all the way through.
But like a cut sheet printer probably isn't going to be doing what you're looking for.
Well, a cut sheet printer, there is machines out there from those brands I just mentioned.
Yeah.
That if they can handle the volume, it comes down as if they can handle the work, right?
Yeah. So what's the turnaround required for a partner? Let's say, for example, I download the app, or may place an order. What's my expectation to have that order delivered for free in my mailbox?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What's the turnaround time expectation? Because you've got partners who got to fulfill that.
Yeah. So we print every week. Right now we're moving up to twice a week. So Monday they get printed, they go out Tuesday. You should have them by USPS Friday, Saturday-ish, maybe. And then if you order after that, we print at the end of the week and it'll go out on Monday, right? So it's just our in-house is only 1 or 2 days in-house, and then it's the 2, 3, 4, 5 days depending on how far you're away.
Okay, so it's not like you order a print and the order goes out the next day like traditional photo printing. It's you're gonna consolidate those orders to get an efficient print process.
And where it's projected now with our volume, we're probably by, I think, March. We just had that meeting yesterday in our operations department. We think we're going to be printing every day by March, right?
Okay.
So that's just the way the volumes are coming and the way everything's happening. it's a massive platform we built.
Mm-hmm.
Our operation side, to our tech side, to our our photo side with Gustavo and everybody there. But you got CFOs now, you got lawyers, we got a lot of people doing this, right? So it's good.
Yeah. So how big's your team now? Because you've been growing this for a while. So
Yeah, so we're up to over 35 right now. We're at 37, which makes me happy. Is the print service providers are going to be growing their workforce complements us, and I'm excited about that.
Okay, great. Well, listen, I'm really excited that we finally had a chance to talk. Well, we've actually talked before, but this is the first time talking on camera and all of that. So, so thank you so much, Bill, for your time. And again, where can people go if they're interested in either partnering with Frints from an output standpoint, or even like want to become a packet sponsor or something similar?
Sure. So obviously the website is Frintz, FRINTZ.com. My personal email is bill@frintz.com. And my cell phone is 585-739-5710 is my personal cell phone. They can call me anytime.
Well, that's dangerous putting that out there, but I hope you do get a good response.
I don't mind at all. I will answer everybody's call.
Okay. Well, listen, Bill, thank you so much. Look forward to hearing more about the future success and innovations at Frints, and have a great week.
Thank you, Gary, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for listening to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. Read more great stories and sign up for the newsletter at www.thedeadpixelssociety.com.